In my remarks, I will offer a few basic assessments about Turkey's interest and Turkey's approach to Syrian conflict before proceeding to the challenges that Turkey has been facing because of the Syrian conflict, and also the disappearing interests of Turkey in the Syrian conflict. What is the position of Turkey and what we feel about it in Turkey and how we see what's happening in Syria. I will be very brief, very clear, very definite, and also very explicit and frank, because I'm not speaking on behalf of the government, so as a non-governmental organization representative, I will be very frank. Turkey was very eager to play a positive role in the Syrian conflict at the very beginning, as you all know. I mean, you also know the Turkey's efforts in order to find a peaceful solution for the Syrian conflict, but it didn't work. And also, I can easily say that there were many points that Turkey, that we miscalculated with regard to Syrian conflict. I mean, Turkey actually was dreaming a Syria without Assad, but now we should get ready for a Syria with Assad for a couple of years more, maybe. I'm not going to talk about the whole process of the last 3 years regarding Turkey's approach, but let me immediately come to the current situation. I would describe Turkey's policy maybe not as a failure, but as a mess with regards to Syria, because we have committed so much, we have spoken too big, but at the end of the day, we couldn't deliver what we have spoken about the Syrian people. Turkey overestimated its capabilities and at the same time underestimated the size of the problem in Syria. It's all about not being aware of our capacity. We have tried to punch above our weight, and we also misread the intentions and the goals of our friends like Iran and Saudi Arabia with regard to Syrian conflict. So I can say that these last 3 years have been a learning process for Turkey, and unfortunately, we came to a point that we don't have the credibility in the Middle East as we used to have before and during the Arab uprisings in the Middle East. Once upon a time, I mean, Turkey used to be perceived as a model or as an influential regional power, but particularly because of our ineffectiveness of our Syrian policy right now, Turkey's prestige in the Arab world has gone down. Actually, key decision makers in Turkey has realized that we are in a deadlock with regards to Syrian conflict, but since we have committed so much, since we have spoken too big, and since there emerged a huge gap between expectations and capabilities, it's going to take a long time to reset or modify or change, you put it, I mean, our Syrian policy. And also another important point that I have to underline, domestic and foreign politics in Turkey now intertwined too much. If you take a backward step as a Turkish politician right now in Turkey, it would be seen as a sign of weakness. So it's really hard for Turkish politicians to change their minds with regards to Syria. So gradually, we have started to practice realpolitik to some extent, but it will take a long time to hear exact statements from the mouth of politicians with regards to Syria. So I don't see a new opening into the Middle East from Turkey. We are all stuck in domestic politics, and politicians do not have enough energy, capacity, and intention to start to initiate something new in the Middle East. So I don't expect anything that right now other than to manage the crisis, because the current situation is not sustainable. I mean, the current policy of Turkey is not sustainable. It will either explode or it must change. So it's difficult, I have to underline, it's difficult to be aware of shortcomings where things are going well and where things are getting more complicated. Then the possibility of encountering many different problems increases and the shortcomings turn into obstacles. So in fact, one could observe that in the last 3 years, Syrian conflict has brought about many different challenges to Turkey. And what are these solid challenges and problems? Before that, I have to also underline that we need emergency plans in order to overcome these challenges, but I think we are, to some extent, we are late. I will mainly name 4 important challenges that Turkey has been facing right now with regards to Syrian conflict. The most important one is the Syrian refugees. I mean, at the very beginning, Turkey underestimated the humanitarian problem as well. Turkey was not prepared, and our authorities did not expect such huge influxes of Syrian people to Turkey in such a very short period of time. the number of Syrian refugees in Turkey has been increasing day by day, and now it almost reached 1 million according to official numbers. And our estimation as a think tank, we also conducted two different research on the field, and our estimation is it's already more than 1 million in Turkey, the Syrian refugees. 200,000 of them are registered in the camps, and the rest of them are urban refugees living in every single city of Turkey, in Ankara, in Izmir, in Istanbul. And this particular problem has the potential to be one of the most important problems of Turkey in coming 5 or 6 years, maybe, because it's no more a temporary situation. So Turkey has to get prepared in order to integrate these people to the Turkish society. Because great majority of these people will not be able to turn their countries, even Assad steps down, because they won't be able to find even one non-distracted room in their cities, in their towns. So the main question is the following. How will the integration of these people to the Turkish society will be ensured by Turkey? And also, it's an humanitarian problem, but also when we look at the details, it poses some political, security, and social cultural risks for Turkey. Integration and the citizenship. I mean, whether Turkey will give or provide citizenship to these people or not, because they will stay for a long time in Turkey. And security risks, the crime probabilities, and the involvement of radical groups within these refugee communities, and social cultural risks. Now, the societal tensions has been increasing in Turkey between Turks and Syrians. And what about the education of these people? And what about the marriages, intermarriages? Because now the Syrian women start to get married with Turkish men as a second wife in some particular towns in the southeast Turkey. And the second problem is the Al-Qaeda and the radical or like-minded groups, because Al-Qaeda appearance and presence has been taking root in the region. And the perception of the Assad regime as the lesser evil vis-à-vis Al-Qaeda is perhaps one of the greatest risks that Turkey would face, because the presence of Al-Qaeda also strengthens Malikis of Iraq and Iran, which in turn erodes the strategic depth of Turkey. And Al-Qaeda, possible to be defined as a modern tribe, empowers its relation with local tribes, particularly in Raqqa, in Syria, and Anbar in Iraq, through marriages. They are getting married with the local women, local men, so they are taking roots in the region. This shows the scale of the problem. And taking root of Al-Qaeda shows us that another instability factor like PKK and PYD nearby Turkey also turn up just nearby us. And actually, it has already started carrying out activities, I mean, Al-Qaeda and like-minded groups in Turkey. I mean, so we started to be affected physically from these radical groups. And also, ironically, claims about Turkey has been supporting these radical groups also have been drawing attention, and so which damages the image of Turkey. So we have to find some solution to this problem as well. And the third problem is PKK and PYD. There's no need to say much about this because you all know that in northern Syria, instead of moderate Kurds and moderate Arab tribes, PYD, which equals to PKK for Turkey, now is becoming stronger. And unfortunately, it suggests that the PKK problem for Turkey has expanded and will expand, unfortunately. And the fourth problem, the sectarian, ethnic, or ideological tensions in the region, which the possibility to affect Turkey as well. It's clear that the sectarian conflict which is taking place in Turkey's neighbors, namely in Iraq and Syria, can expand in a way that it can also trouble Turkey, particularly nowadays, because now we also getting polarized as the Turkish society. Of course, it will not turn into structural and everlasting problem in Turkey like it is in Iraq or in Syria, but it will cause some headaches for Turkey as well. So, if necessary precautions are not taken, it's likely to cause Turkey to experience more and more challenges. So, finally, what can be done in order to deal with these challenges? Or, I mean, the only expectation or the only interest of Turkey with regards to the Syrian problem is to overcome these challenges. Other than this, we will not deliver anything for solving the problem, because now we are all stuck in domestic politics. First of all, addressing the Syrian refugee crisis in a comprehensive way and attaching importance to it. Okay. along with a burden sharing. And also taking necessary precautions against Al-Qaeda in Turkey, which also necessitates an international cooperation because we are talking about non-Syrian fighters coming from the Western countries, particularly through Turkey. And there is an urgent need to systematic monitoring of the border, Turkish border. And re-evaluating strategies towards PKK and PYD is also important for Turkey. And finally, decreasing the pitch of foreign policy discourse and simplifying our objectives and returning to realpolitik is a must for Turkey. And the last word, maybe strategic silence is the proper way for Turkey to pursue right now. And the final word, Turkey should be ready for a Syria with Assad at least for a couple of more years. And this is the overview of my assessments. Thank you very much.